Practice lang yun.
Hindi, kunin mo lang yung refrain. I-cut na lang sa refrain.
Refrain pa naman ulit, di ba?
Pinoyrelax. My favorite.
Dami ng kaso. Mas
Ngayon, ipapakilala ko na I will introduce to you somebody na neighbor ko sa Santa Teresita, Batangas. And by grace of God, dito kami nagkakilala. Isa siyang misyonaryo. He is, of course, popularly known as Father Ron Sandoval, SVD. Pero para sa akin siya ang aking bossing, Ron Sandoval.
wow, talaga naman. Hello, magandang hapon, magandang araw, magandang umaga, syunantag, kung ano man, kung saan man kayo naroon ngayon at kung anong oras nakakarating sa itong sending nito. Magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Thank you for watching. Thank you for this.
Welcome, bossing. Saan ka ba eksakto? Where are you born?
I was born in a very small barrio of, the name is Kutang Kawayan in Santa Teresita, Batangas, in the Philippines.
That's only 2 barangays away
From your place.
from my place. Yes. Sa hospital o sa bahay?
Sa bahay, hindi pa nung panahon namin 1957, hindi pa uso yun. Tapos barangay pa, so talagang I was born at home.
And you are the eldest?
I am the eldest of, actually we were 4, pero yung 4th namin lived only for 6 months. And the interval from the 3rd is 12 years, kaya kumbaga, unfair nga, lagi sabi namin 3 lang kami, pero actually 4 kami. So we're 4 brothers, pero 3 brothers ang ngayon totally destroyed, nakakalat na kami sa buong
So ang
mundo.
nanay is nag-iisang butya.
Ang nanay ang nag-iisang prinsesa at alipin sa bahay. Yeah, that's her.
That means your elementary days sa Kuta.
Elementary in the town, Santa Teresita, Batangas. Santa Teresita Elementary School, high school is Alitagtag, you know that. It's the one adjacent to Santa Teresita. And then college is already University of the Philippines in Quezon City.
So you were a veterinarian, I've heard.
Yeah, that was my... When I was accepted in UP, it was with the application of BS Physics. That's my form as applied for the entrance exam, and it was accepted. But of course, as I was exposed there, I just realized that I am more into biological sciences than the physical sciences. And so after the 2nd year, I shifted to veterinary medicine. I was exposed there because I worked as a student assistant in the library of veterinary medicine. So it was a kind of mind-opening.
So that's where you had your interest.
Exactly. I realized in the library I was exposed to books and para bang, this is my interest. I guess I like this most. And then physics ko mga nagto 2.75, 3 lang. Stress lang. Kumbaga, ano klase yung magiging physics ito kung yung major subjects ay ganun?
Pero going back to your childhood, ikaw siguro yung typical na kagaya ko na may mga experiences na naglalaro sa kalye, etc. Ano mga favorite games mo nung bata?
Tumbang preso, taguan, ito naman yung tuwan-tuwa kami pagka kabilugan ng buwan, no? We don't have current, we don't have power, and so the light of the moon is for us really very important, and that's the time when we have particular games in relationship to the moonlight, and we feel so safe, we feel so we don't have yet these gadgets before my
Mga patintero.
these games, no, that we have. I can still remember those days.
But during your high school days ay mga teenage experiences ka rin naman siguro.
Classical juvenile experiences. We're not as a saint as before. Maybe that's wrong. Ang dami ko rin, siyempre kanakuha nung bata, it goes with age. Yung mga juvenile problems.
Nag-JS prom ba?
Hindi man uso rin sa alitagtag noon. I miss that. Wala kaming ganun.
Sa atin naman mga typical na sayawan.
Later generation ka pa Mas maaga pa rin ako. Wala pa kaming ganun noon. Or yung alitagtag high school siguro hindi pa yun part ng kanyang mga programa. Kaya wala, we just ended. Hi, hello, goodbye.
As a veterinarian, how many years did you practice?
VetMed itself is already 6 years, so 2 years pre-vet and then 4 years na proper. And then immediately after graduation, I was recruited by the university to become a member of the faculty of VetMed. And I stayed there for 10 years, until 80 to 1990. Yeah. Professor naman kasi mahaba niya. Yeah, I started as instructor.
Did you have a clinic for?
As part-time, because it's most of the time I'm consumed with teaching. And so weekends, yeah, dagdag na kita. So I joined some other groups.
What are the joy of treating animals? Anong mga paborito mong gamutin ng mga aso?
You see, VetMed are into two directions. We have the so-called small animals or pet animals, and then we have the food animals.
Yeah.
Alam natin yan. Aso, pusa, kabayo, the pets. Ito naman, yung kinakain natin, manok, kambing, baka, baboy. I'm more into this. In fact, what I'm teaching is animal nutrition for food animals. So we formulate foods for them, and then I'm more into that direction. Although gusto ko yung mga aso at mga pusa, I don't know, hindi na pa gusto ko dito.
Ito na nga. Paano naman nangyari yung big calling ni Lord?
I was in my 9th year of teaching at the university when I left the church. Ironically, I left the church. I was somehow attracted to join other Christian groups, which are more, as I saw it, more intense in biblical studies, and they have really good fellowships, which oftentimes are missing what I see from experience in the church. Sometimes people sitting together, they don't know even each other. But of course, kung saan naman tayo kasi galing eh. With these groups, they really know each other even before they, madami silang mga, naka-attract sa akin yung fellowship nila. And then the teachings, focus lang sa Bible, and yun. And I stayed there for 3 years somehow. Kaya lang, of course, there are some reasons also na nakita ko, mga things na nakita ko na parang hindi ko na maintindihan in the sense na, siyempre, at the same time, I did not really leave the church strictly kasi patay ako sa nanay ko pag ginawa ko yun eh. So parang namamaka ako sa dalawang ilog, taking the best of the both worlds. Basta ang naging turning point ko after 3 years, the question of authority. And that is the case as of now. We have some 44,000 groups of differences, and they're not even related to one another. And sabi ko nga, sinong authority? Kasi wala eh. The authority is the pastor who is leading them. That's all. They listen to that. And even the pastor has no connection to the other pastor but another group. Sabi ko nga, 44,000 eh. And all claiming that the Holy Spirit is with them, but the Holy Spirit is only one, not 44,000. And that's what I saw in the church, in the Catholic Church. We have a distinct represented by the Pope, the Vicar of Christ, whether you accept all his teachings or not, but the point is he is the unifying figure of the church. Wherever you are in the world, there is the unity of teaching, not only the unity of Sunday Mass is pag-green lahat buong kaparian sa buong mundo, sa liturgy, but also in the teaching, in the oneness of the teaching, which is different from these 44,000 na that's why they split because they have problems with the teaching. They have different interpretations. The Catholic Church has just one teaching for every aspect of the faith.
So as you've mentioned, nung matanggap mo na yung calling, I understand kay Tatay Godoy at sa Nanay Mede yung heaviness ng pamamaala mo. How did you inform them? Maglilingkod ka na.
It was really very difficult for them to accept that kasi that time I was the only breadwinner. We were 3 brothers. The 2 are still studying at the university, and I was the one helping them for studies. Si buot sa sweldo ko tapos. And everything is on me dependent, and that's the reason kung bakit nga practical question of my mother, paano kami? Kasi sa akin lang talaga nakadependent, and of course I know that already. Bago pa lang ako nag-decision noon, I was already asking God, paano nga? Sa akin talaga totally dependent. Isa lang ang sagot ng Diyos eh. Ako ang bahala. No? It is really, from the very start, an act of faith that God would want me to really show. To make manifest in my decisions. Kasi wala talaga akong alam na pwedeng tumulong sa family ko. We're poor, but my relatives are poorer in that sense. So, no way na makatulong. And so, sagot ko sa nanay ko, bahala si Lord. Which is, para kay nanay is, anak, paano yun? Ang tinapay, hindi mahuhulog galing sa langit at babagsak sa aming kamay. Samantala ngayon, you are there to support us. And pero sabi ko, yun ang sabi niya. Kaya nga, I can always consider that my vocation is not just my vocation, but the vocation of the whole family. Hindi lang kasi ako affected eh. The influence goes also it went through the whole family, no? But it's really good how God took over, no? Kasi talagang
Yung kasi siguro yung mga burdens, yung mga the whole family is also carrying.
yeah, it's their livelihood. It's everything that will be removed from them. I mean, if I go, kasi definitely wala na akong sweldo, I will not be working anymore. Kaya tama yung tanong ni Nani, anak, paano kami?
So how many years did you practice the priesthood in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, I did not practice there. Immediately after ordination, December 12 is the ordination, and then I finished the theological studies, April, di ba ganun naman sa atin yung school. April, I started preparing for my papers here in August 1, I'm here in Austria. So all my first experiences as priest, I have it already here in Austria, which is a little bit uncommon. Because I still have to learn the language first. I mean, and it's not an easy language. And yung feel mo na mag-pastoral work ka, kaya you cannot,
Yeah.
because you cannot speak, you cannot communicate. And so, yung feeling mo na bitin ka na.
What year did you arrive here in Austria?
1997. 96 I got ordained. By the way, in December, I will be 25 years already. Parang kahapon lang. Invited kayo sa
Yeah.
yan.
Pahanda ng konti.
Pahanda natin. Yan ang hindi, yan handa ko sa 25 years ko.
Ito ang sunod kong itatanong. Philippinische Gottesdienst
Gemeinde.
That's in English, the Philippine
Philippine Eucharistic Community.
Eucharistic Community.
Gottesdienst for us is the Mass or the Eucharist, and so Philippine Eucharistic Community.
So ikaw yung main founder nito?
Yes, because the community started with me, without any plan of doing it. It simply came, Actually, the original name nung una muna, Philippinische Gemeinde. So Sunday lang kasi ang masses noon.
Right.
Na nung kung alam mo yung istorya na people just came in and they started having masses with them. And yeah, Philippine Gemeinde. Pero nung medyo lumaki na, hindi lang Sundays, we already have Saturdays, Wednesdays, and then more of the sacraments now. We have also already baptism, confirmation, weddings. So it's just like really a parish but in movement.
So when was this established? 1990?
3 years after I came in here.
So 2000?
So mga ganun panahon. Pero it took some time before we were recognized also by the diocese as an independent entity. So 2 chaplaincies of Filipinos in Vienna, or in Austria for that matter. So I'm the second na group. And it was, a year after the foundation, it was recognized by the Archdiocese.
So yun ang isa sa napaka-matinding naging vision mo sa buhay.
Yeah.
Yung
Definitely.
mga Filipinos na akayan dito sa Austria, of course with the Filipino chaplaincy, kasama yan ay yung tuloy-tuloy yung...
Kasi sabi tayo na even the voice of God is yung tinig ng Panginoon ay yung mother language natin eh. So even if people would understand German in the Mass, iba yung dating pagka English or Tagalog for that matter. Yung parang ng Diyos talaga nagsasalita sa iyo. And that is the one that we want to retrieve, that kind of feeling that even if you are not in the Philippines, you still have that feeling simply because the Mass appeals to you because you understand it completely as a mother language. And then we started doing also activities that we have in the Philippines, specifically Simbang Gabi, which became very, very popular. And of course, the Easter, the Lent and Easter celebrations. Parang Pilipinas na rin talaga. And that's we brought the Philippines here in that sense, even if we are outside.
Dami ng Pilipino dito, at least maraming na-accommodate.
Yeah. I do not know ngayon, pero when we started, Filipinos are already some 33,000 in Vienna alone, or 43,000 the whole of Austria. These are Filipinos and Filipino-Austrian passport holders.
Ano yung mga masasayang experiences from PGG?
I have to be with the Filipinos, definitely. Sa buhay ko kasi, sa PGG lang talaga umiikot yung buhay ko. So the tears and the joys and the happiness and feelings of successes and failures are all incorporated in this community. Lahat yan po na just a manifestation that is a very alive community na buhay din.
But our country we have been experiencing daily natural calamities.
Yeah.
Ano yung unang naging project mo?
Sa totoo lang, when I came here, the very first thing that came into my mind is with the richness of this country and with the experience of Filipinos here, sabi ko, how can I really help the Philippines? So first day pa lang, pagdating ko dito, ang nasa isip ko agad, paano ba makakatulong sa Philippines? Because I saw the Filipinos here to be so blessed. So, yeah, I mean, ibang-iba yung buhay, no? Materially at least, yung stability of life and the health of everyone, and ang sarap ng pamumuhay talaga. Yung bang tipong sana all. Sana si Philippines ganun din. Sana...
Beke naman.
Yeah. Kaya lang, of course, it's impossible. But I in my own little capacity, I try really to extend help to the Filipinos in the Philippines through the help of the community members.
What I remember, one of the biggest help that you did through the PGG is yung Yolanda.
Aha, yeah. Talaga kasing sensationalized yung ano na yun eh. Na...
One of the biggest typhoons.
Yeah. November ba yun? Kaya yung simbang gabi na yan, talagang every night, I guess 1,000 euros ang donations na pumapasok, around 50,000, no? Every night, ay 9 days siya na consistently. So we were able to send an enormous amount. Pero mga one time yan eh. Pero yung ating consistently, we are into human development program in the Philippines, but specifically with education.
Yeah.
Philippines,
Speaking of education, another memorable project ng PGG, yung mga scholars.
yes, yeah. Education assistance program. So these are already students enrolled. And we just give farkarte, kumbaga, 1,500 pesos just for the pamasahe. But these are basically high school students. There was the peak moment that we are helping 400 high school students in the Philippines from 8 provinces. There was a time of IMAL, na 400 students. And we have 400 people here sending 1,500 pesos.
Hindi ka nakatutok lang sa Santa Teresita.
No. It's Philippines.
Yeah.
It's Philippines. Yeah. So, lagi, hindi tumigil yon, na pagkakagraduate, may bagong susunod, and sabi ko nga, never tayo nag-stop sa ano. But we are always, I would always say, kasi ang dami nang hihingi ng mga pampagawa ng ganito, simbahan, halimbawa, sabi ko na, we stayed with the human assistant development programs, so food, education, basically, or family helps. Na ganun. And then recently,
that's the thing, you cannot save everybody, pero in your own little way, there's always...
It's not enough for the whole world, but for 100 people or students na... Kasi sa Philippines, sa mga mag-aaral, ang daily horror of the mothers, every morning, is yung baon, yung pamasahe. And so that is the thing that we were trying to support. Hindi naman ganun kalaki, 1,500 noon sa isang buwan. Pero malaking tulong na rin yun sa pamasahe ng mga assistants na yun na hindi naisipin ng nanay sa umaga.
Ito naman ang malaking break kay bossing, yung pandemic. In a positive way ay napakaraming magagandang experiences niya.
Sure, yeah.
So since pandemic, I think he started everyday mass. Tapos
March 15, 2020. Everyday yan, until now.
I think most of us have watched how he enjoyed the rain in the Philippines, naligo sa ulan, na parang bata.
First time after 52 years.
But heartwarming is when you saw these unfortunate brothers and sisters, mga families during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Hindi talaga
Kasi I was there, no? Inabot talaga ako. It's my home vacation, February, March, and alam natin March 15 nag-start ang lockdown. 2 weeks before I am supposed to have returned to the Philippines, and so every flights were canceled. Napilitan ako mag-stay talaga doon. And my parents are, sabi nga ni tatay at nanay, ay salamat sa COVID. Sabi ko, nay, huwag masyadong malakas. ang inyong salita ngayon kasi ang daming apektado. Pero kasi nga, after all those years, this is the first time in such a long time na magkakasama kaming 3 sa bahay. Ay pag nag-home vacation ako gala din hindi rin man talaga lagi nasa bahay. Ito talaga, lockdown So, kaya pasalamat ang nanay kay COVID. Sabi ko, not so loud.
The good thing is parang naging sakristan tuloy si ang nanay mo,
Yeah.
Tatay Godoy. doon
Yeah,
sa
sila talaga yung attenders,
mga everyday
attendees,
masses
yeah.
niya.
And
But,
then yung ayuda na, nagsimula yung ayuda,
Yeah.
no? We were able to do, at least syempre, lockdown, may immediate social environment is may barangay. Kaya ang swerte talaga nila in a sense. Kasi sila yung unang nakatanggap. And we had in the course of my presence there 10 rounds of ayudas, no? From live chicken to 30 pieces of eggs to breakfast na buong breakfast ang ibibigay. Halo-halo. Pero, and then it was extended also to the nearby barangays dahil ang laki din ng mga to the masses na online na nagtatawag ako, the helps are coming. No?
Sa Mauyong pala ay nag-start na talaga yung community pantry.
Pantry, in that sense, yun nga sabi ko, original ako dyan.
Nahinog lang yung nitong lately.
Na naging boom lang, pero noon pala nagsisimula na tayo.
And then you saw these families na talagang...
Yeah, magbubuti, magbabakal, magtatabas ng tubo, na that time ay talagang walang trabaho na, tricycle drivers na wala naman saging tricycle, tapos lakat pa nga, so talagang lahat tenga, walang source. And so they received already yung mga ayuda na regularly, pero yun nga, parang naisip ko, why not extend? Why not extend? And so it was Pentecost last year that I started giving out, distributing the rice. We started with 60 families.
ito na yung PGG Rice Support.
Rice distribution program or pabigas program.
So paano ba yung rice support na ilang families nag-initiate?
We have, sabi ko nga at the very onset, ay 60 families. 60 families, but only in my barangay that it started yan. And to surprise of all surprises para sa kanila, they thought it is only 1 month of, kasi half kaban of rice, 25 kilos. Sabi nga ng iba, naku, pahirapan na nga ang gobyerno ng 5 kilo. Pag Pasko, 5 kilo lang. Ito, 25 kilos. They would never imagine. And it is not only for 1 month. It is for the whole year, 12 months. Yung mga experiences ko noon, mga father, alam mo, hindi lang, talagang iyak-yakap. The first time in my life na meron akong 25 kilos of aymal ba? Siyempre, kung nung kita sa araw, edi bibili lang kalahating kilo. Laging ganun, everyday. Pero yung makakita ka ng meron kang kalahating kaba na nandyan, ay talagang sabi nila nakakataba ng puso at saka hindi na alam kung... Tapos sabi ko pa, you did not look for me, no? I looked for you.
Because I think we both had the experience of yung isang gatang na ipagkakasya, gagawin lugaw
para dumami.
Yeah,
sasabahan.
And it became worse with the pandemic na maraming nawala ng kita, nawala
Definitely.
ng trabaho.
No work, no pay naman sa atin. No
But
work, no pay.
this is really a big help, yung PGG Rice Support.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of generous brothers and sisters.
So, this May, kasi it is from June to May, June 2020 to May 2021. So this first week of May, we give out already the last of the program. From 60 naging 288 families. 88 in Siargao, 125 in Santa Teresita, 25 in Romblon, 25 in Albay.
So, hindi lang sa Batangas.
Hindi lang, kasi nagsimula lang doon, pero in the course of time, kasi salamat sa mga sponsors talaga na, kasi nakikita naman nila siguro tuwa na rin nila na na sabi ko nga, imagine, for 1 year, meron silang kanin sa kanilang hapagkainan. At dahil sa'yo yan. No?
Yeah.
So, the joy also of giving at nakikita nila yung kaya nag-multiply, no? So, we in the PGG have decided to, kasi di pa tapos ang lockdown, hindi pa tapos itong problema na ito. We decided to continue for another year.
So,
Tuloy-tuloy. Natapos yung programa, but this time, another area.
So, how can somebody then contribute?
You are all invited. Lahat po kayo inaniyahan ko na magbigay, no? Sabi ko nga dito sa Austria, napakapalad natin, we do not beg for food. And so, let's be generous to those people who beg for food. Yun na lang ang way natin na magpasalamat sa Panginoon that we are not in such a situation. Try to imagine their situation and you would not want to be in that. And so, Lord, thank you. But that thank you, Lord, could be concretely manifested in our lives by helping. Kasi kaya naman talaga natin It's 20 euros per month. That's the cost of 25 kilos, 1,000 pesos. Yun ang cost po ng ano. And so, yun, 25 kilos times 12, so 240 euros for a year if you're going to sponsor a family. Or, yeah, you can give it at once, yung nangyari na, or every 6 months, or every month. Wala namang problema diyan.
So how can they contact you through Facebook?
Through the Facebook, sa aking messenger, marami naman alam ang aking ding messenger account or telephone number ko na meron din naman pwedeng mag-text.
Or any of the PGG siguro?
Usually, kami lang dalawa ni Frau Herta Niedermayer, who is the one in charge of this program, ang treasurer natin, and siya yung in charge ng program. So, may early shine for those who would like to buy the bank, magbabayad, or usually pag Sunday Masses, nakikita lang to. So, yun po. Sana ay tayo yung makatulong sa mga tao. You would never imagine the joy that they have. Yung pang sigh of relief, ay, salamat po, yung makakain kami. We're not talking here of luxuries, we're talking here of survival. Kaya sana din talaga makatulong tayo. What is 20 euros sa atin? 2 Mac menu na parang wala lang nangyari. But it really meant so much sa mga tao nagugutom na para sa bigas yun. Bigas kasi staple food natin yan eh. Pwede nang samahan lang yan ng kung ano man, ng malunggay or gulay or asin, bagoong. Pero importante yung bigas eh. Importante yung bigas.
And I believe there are lots of generous brothers and sisters dyan.
Yes po, yeah.
Na gusto talaga makatulong pero you cannot.
In your little ways, pwedeng 20, isang buwan lang. Halimbawa, isang buwan, isang family. Or yun nga, 6 months or 1 year, depende na lang talaga. It's a call of generosity talaga kung paano tayo magre-respond. But no amount is little. Every amount counts.
May tawag ko si... Okay na? Sige. Sabihin ko kay Bossing. Also, nag-commit. Okay daw kay Bossing.
Wow.
So, Pinoyrelax, my favorite is contributing for one family for the whole year. But, may ipapaliwanag din.
May twist.
Mayroong konting exciting sponsorship.
Yeah.
We will see in the next episodes. So, Bossing, committed ang Pinoyrelax, my favorite for one family.
Salamat po.
And we are praying na sana ay maraming generous pang nandiyan.
Yeah.
Kasi ngayon talagang masarap na magmahal. Hindi natin masabi ang life.
Yeah. Pero of course, naintindihan ko rin na anong tawag yung pocket fatigue. Ano mo yun? Pocket fatigue. Kasi siyempre, yung mga taga rito, marami ring family members na tinutulungan sa Philippines at naintindihan natin pagod na rin yung bulsa. Kaya nga, last year we had 288 families. Baka 100 family man lang tayo this year, parang masaya na. Naintindihan ko talaga na pagod na rin talaga yung iba sa pagbibigay. Pero God is so generous also to give us back what na 100-fold ang ibabalik ng Panginoon. Yan ang paniwala natin for what you give really from the heart. So God cannot be outdone in generosity.
By the way, Father Ron is also a vlogger. So you can see on YouTube or Ron Sandoval.
Daily Masses online and this Moment with Jesus, yun po ang aking Moment with Jesus, 15 minutes daily Mass readings and reflections. So yun lang po.
So Father, what's your message then to all our dear fellow Filipinos in Austria, likewise in the Philippines?
Live the faith. Siyempre yun ang lagi na bilang isang pare, ang trabaho talaga natin ay ipalaganap si Jesus, ipalaganap ang kanyang salita at itong salitang ito ay magkaroon ng pagbabago sa buhay ng mga tao. And it is something that we should be doing every day of our lives, to live Jesus Christ. And eventually also to share. We are all missionaries of Jesus and therefore we should be bringing His name to all the places where we're going for every activity that we're doing. Pray more and pray hard. And then it's also a missionary activity of every baptized Christian to really continue praying for the world, continue praying for our brothers and sisters. This is a manifestation of our love for the neighbor, no? As Jesus Christ would always command us. Maaaring hindi natin ibibigay, lagi nakakatulong tayo in the ways that they need, but to pray for them is already a big thing for them from the heart. No? So yun lang. And then sabi ko nga, especially the people here in Austria or in Europe, whose lives are much better off than our brothers and sisters in the Philippines, extend your help. Love your neighbor. Again, it's a manifestation of that. our loving God is made more concrete by showing concrete love to our brothers and sisters, especially those who are in need. And specifically in our Pabigas program, if you can really help us help other people, no? Then we are much open for that. We're receiving pledges and donations for such purpose. So yun lang po, no? Mag-iingat tayo lagi, kailangan pa rin yan, mag-iingat tayo lagi, at ang ating pananampalataya ay dapat lagi malalim sa ating Panginoong Kristo. I know your exposure to the church is quite different from your parents, especially those who were born here, not because of your own fault, it's just a different situation. But I would like to invite you to know Jesus Christ more in the church. I would like really to invite you to receive the sacraments, especially the Eucharist. That is really, it will make a big change in our relationship with Jesus if we listen to His word and if we receive Him in His body and blood. So I know there are still many activities competing with our activities as regards faith and church. Yeah, I just hope and pray that we can really give also time for that. No? Do not wait for such a long time when you're older that you will try to have a more love or more showing of your love for the church or for Jesus. Kasi we have the tendency to postpone today I'm so focused with my studies, with my work, sometimes yan ang competition ng simbahan at Jesus sa puso natin. But we can also do both. We will never realize the grace that we will receive if in our work, if in our studies, Jesus is already with us. We cannot dichotomize our lives as if this life is for me and this life is the life with Jesus. It should be a mixture. God flows in here. The Spirit blows in all of this. And so, pagsabay natin, no? You will feel more the grace and the successes the graces, not the successes, but the graces in everything that we do, whether as students or young workers, if Jesus is already in our heart. Aim to have a personal relationship with Jesus.
Thank you so much, Father Bossing.
Salamat po. Thank you for this forum, for the expression of thoughts and feelings. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Ganito na lang.
Okay naman. Sakit naman para na meron tayong guide. Tsaka mas malakas yung boses natin kasi sa kanya. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the grace that you dream of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dreamed of, dreams really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon the star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Okay yun.
Pinoyrelax, my favorite.
Once in a lullaby, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. what you dreamed of dreams really do come true. Someday I wish upon the star, wake up where the clouds are far behind.